Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, back to another video and back into my life. Hi, how are you doing? Good. How am I? I'm doing wonderful. Just hanging out. For those of you who don't know me, I am your girl Mel, just a silly little Canadian girl doing her master's abroad, currently in the UK, Liverpool to be exact. So I thought I should make a video like this. Today is definitely more of an informative video, and if it has nothing to do with you, you don't really need to watch. But if you're just kind of curious, then please go ahead and watch. But it is what I can and can't do here in the UK as a person who is on a student visa. So let's get right into it. Before I get into the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, even if you decide to stick around or not. And also just a little disclaimer, this is not a video on how to get a student visa. If you guys are interested in me making a video about how I got my student visa or the process, leave a comment down below, but this is not that video. So this is if you already have a student visa and you want to know just kind of like what you can and can't do whilst you're living over here. So first I'm going to start with what you can do with a student visa here in the UK. And the first and most obvious one is study. So yes, you can study either in university or they have like trade colleges. Also, you can be like a high school student. You could be young and get a student visa and go to a special like high school here, or not special high school. I don't know. Maybe you just really want to go to this really regular UK high school. You can do that. There is like a different kind of junior student visa that you have to apply for, but same deal. You can study here with that visa. The next thing you can do is you can obviously live, rent, or even buy a house. Yes, you could buy in the UK. So you can live by whatever means necessary. I'm obviously in a student accommodation. I pay rent, but you don't have to go through your school if you're on a student visa. You could just go to a private renter, like you could rent a house or rent a flat. It's up to you. And then, yes, like I said, you can buy if you would like. If you have that money, you could buy a flat or buy a house. Actually, anybody can do this. You don't have to be a resident to own land in the UK. You can just do that. But obviously, you will have restrictions on how long you can stay. If you just buy land and you don't have a visa at all, you can't stay for that long. And then you'll just have your empty house here in the UK. But on your student visa, you can buy, you can rent, and you can live through the school and the student accommodations. The next thing you could do on your UK student visa is you can work. So you can get a job whilst you're here. There are some limitations on that, and I will talk about that in the what you can't do section, but you can get a job. So if you're worried like, oh, I can only study, no, you can study and work at the same time. The next thing I can do, and it's specific because I am from Canada, so this is only for people who are from Commonwealth countries or from the Republic of Ireland. I can, or you can, if you're in one of those countries, vote. So you can register to vote here and you can literally vote as an international student, but only if you're from Commonwealth countries or from the Republic of Ireland. I have no idea why. I think that's really interesting, the rule that you have to be from one of those Commonwealth countries, because like, what does me coming from Canada have anything to do with like who's in power over here? Like, if I decided I really wanted to live here for a long time, then yeah, that's why I should vote. But then what about someone else who isn't from a Commonwealth country and they want to live here for a long time, like they can never vote? I thought that was interesting. This is a really weird, interesting thing. I had to Google it. But yeah, so if you are from one of those countries, you can vote on a student visa here in the UK, but only from one of those countries. All right, so let's move over to the things that I can't do. So I will start with number one, which is the limitations that come to working. As I said, I can work, but there are a lot of limitations when it comes to working. So I can't work more than 20 hours a week. So like I can't get a full-time job or something. I can only maximum work 20 hours a week. And they tell you at the school, it is so strict. If you like get a job at, I don't know, a pizza place here and they ask you to stay longer for a shift, but you've hit your 20 hours, you have to tell them like, no, you will be fined. Like the restaurant will be fined. I will be fined. I could get like kicked out of the country. Like if you get too many dings on your visa, you can get kicked out. So literally it's so strict, 20 hours. Another limitation for working is I can't work for myself. I can't be a freelance worker. Say I wanted to open up my own nail salon in my student dorm and just, do people's nails and get paid. You can't do that. I don't know why. Probably because of I don't know, the permits and laws that come around being a business owner, but you cannot do that. The last limitation that I think definitely people can get around it, and you could totally get around it, is you cannot be working for an overseas company. Say I had an online job in Canada and then I moved over here and I wanted to continue my online job while still studying here in the UK. You can't do that. I don't know why. Probably to do with taxes and stuff like that and tracking the hours. They want to track your hours and they can't do that if it's in a different country. I have no idea why that rule exists, but you cannot work for another country whilst you are on a student visa here in the UK. They just want you to be poor. No funds for you. All right, the next thing that I can't do, that you can't do, is you can't get passport privileges or travel privileges. And by this I mean, so you're studying here in the UK, say you want for your Christmas break to go to Italy or go to Spain. You have to abide by your home country's travel. You can't just be like, oh, okay, people from the UK can just fly there and back, no problem. You can't do that. You have to look, okay, I want to go to Spain. You have to see, in my home country of Canada, do I specifically as a Canadian need a visa to go to Spain? You can't just be like, oh, the UK doesn't need it, then I don't need it, because they will not let you in. You will be stranded. You'll have to pay for an extra flight back. They will not. The sun is really shining all of a sudden. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that. This is something I'm so lucky because the Canadian passport is strong. So most countries let in Canadian passports with no visa, and I'm very thankful. But, I have some roommates who've had struggles with it, who, their home country, they need a visa, and sometimes they don't get approved because you're on a student visa. Sometimes other visas don't get approved on top of those visas. So you have to be careful. Just because you're on a student visa here in the UK doesn't mean you can just travel the UK passport ways. You have to look at your home country and the country you're going to. Also, this is a subsection of that. You have to make sure you have your visa and your British residency card on you if you travel. I carry it around wherever I go, but I didn't even really think about it. And then I went to Barcelona in January, and on the way back, I have my visa in the passport, but it expires because you need to get the residency card. And he looked at the visa, and I thought he would just look at it and be like, yeah, go back in. Because I told him I'm studying at the University of Liverpool. And he was like, do you have more than this? And I was like, girl, what do you mean more than this? That's the freaking visa. And it had expired in December, literally 1 month before. And I was like, yeah, I have the residency card. And I take it out, and he really inspected it. So you just have to be so mindful when you're traveling cross-country borders. You have to have your visa and your residency card on you, or they will not let you back into the UK. So be so careful about that. Okay, the last final thing that I can't do as an international student on a student visa here in the UK is skip class. Isn't this interesting? So if you miss a very small amount of classes, the visa office will be notified. And I think it's because obviously they don't want people just coming on a student visa and then being like, F school, I just want to live here, ha, easy way in. And they also don't want you to fail. They don't want you to fail and just be a degenerate somewhere here. So you have to be so mindful of that. And me and one of my my only course mate, who is also an international student, we are so mindful to log our attendance because we have a timetable app and we have to log our attendance for each class. And we are always so mindful because, again, if you miss a certain amount of classes, you get dinged. I think the professor will get notified first. I don't know, because we've never gotten a notification, and there's some classes where we've had timetable mix-ups, but we've never gotten notified. So hopefully the professor either let the attendance office know or whatever, because how detrimental would it be if they just tell the visa office and we get kicked out of the country. But yes, what a good thing to know. You cannot skip or miss class on a student visa. Obviously, if you are sick, I think you get a doctor's note and that's fine. Thankfully, I've never been too sick as to miss a class. You know, knock on wood, thank my lucky stars. But you cannot do that, or they will kick you out. All right, so that is the end of the list on what I can and can't do as a student here in the UK on a student visa. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed my hair's many placements. It was drying throughout this whole video, so I kept having to rearrange it. Also, the sun peeking in and out. We really rarely get sun in Liverpool, so I'm not going to be mad at it. She's gonna come out again just to show you guys. Hopefully my face looks like glowy and sun-kissed. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below. I replied to all of my comments. And I will see you guys in next week's video. Oh my gosh, a kiss from me and a kiss from the Liverpool sun. Bye.